We stayed for a night in the Quality Inn in Albuquerque, which was a bit ropey, apart from the beds, which were amazing. So I don't know what to think about that. We're going to explore the area.
So we are in Rio Rancho, which is a city to the north of Albuquerque. It's the third biggest city in New Mexico. And they have Intel. This is a neighborhood in Rio Rancho.
Something we've noticed is that the lawns are pebbles. None of the houses have grass on their front gardens. They do, however, have a lovely view of the mountains. It's quite nice around here. This is East Panorama Heights, and it has very little crime.
Yeah, a lot of people walk in this neighborhood because it's a safe neighborhood.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So the reason front gardens have stones is because there's only 6 inches of rainfall here a year. Presumably it's very sunny.
It's sunny quite often, probably 300 to 330 days a year.
Wow.
That's really good. The cactuses cause allergies and they're poisonous. These don't require any water. These are desert plants and they look quite attractive. Because you don't have a lawn, does that mean there are fewer insects?
Yes, because it's not humid enough.
Oh, I see.
But water is expensive,
Water is expensive.
Is there any kind of tech industry around here? Or is it...
Intel was. Yeah, they're in the process of closing that plant because they had an agreement that they would have 20 years with no water bill, and that has expired, so they're going to be moving on.
The further west you go, the more Indian reservation land there is.
Yeah. The whole Rocky Mountain region, all the way into Montana.
Are we at the start of the Rockies?
That's the southern end of the Rocky Mountain Range.
Well, there's good skiing here if you like to ski.
Do you get lots of tourists doing skiing here?
Yeah. More in Santa Fe and Taos, though. If you go to Taos, hold your breath because there's nothing there. If you're not an artist,
I'm not. No.
you would be bored to tears in Taos.
He's an IT.
I can't draw. How much is a typical water bill for a normal family?
A month.
Having this sort of dry atmosphere, do you have to like moisturize it?
Yes.
A lot of lotion. But if you like your clothes to air dry, put them outside and they'll be dry in an hour or less.
Wow. Should I watch Breaking Bad?
Yeah, it was filmed in Albuquerque.
The guy who did Game of Thrones lives in Santa Fe, George R.R. Martin.
There's a lot of famous people that live in Santa Fe.
Okay, well, cheers, and we may well be neighbours one day. Take care.
You too. Nice meeting you.
Nice
Bye-bye.
meeting you.
So they get only 6 inches of rain, 300 to 350 days of sun a year. If it snows, it'll just settle and evaporate in a day. They liked where they live. Apart from water being expensive, there weren't any particular problems. They said Rio Rancho is cheaper than Albuquerque, but it's all cheaper than Santa Fe, where lots of rich people have caused property taxes to go up beyond the means of ordinary residents. It's just so bright here. Treasures, massage, guns, perfection. We're going to have a look at some housing. 2,200 square feet, 2007.
Eat-in kitchen.
And for laundry.
Gas as well.
Oh, right.
Original layout.
Okay, so it's got one of these extremely high ceilings with a fan. The back garden, space for gas on the grill. There's a TV slot. Like Texas, in New Mexico, they have the master bedroom on the ground floor. Here's a bathroom with a sort of oval tub.
Yep, what we call a 5-piece bath.
There's a loo. There's a walk-in closet. There's space upstairs connected to downstairs. This looks like a media room to me. And there's a balcony. And it's got views of the mountain. Smaller room with closet and an upstairs bathroom. A larger bedroom upstairs with a walk-in closet. A couple of things. How much is this property?
We're listed at $210,000.
Do you know the property taxes in the area?
$1,500.
What's it like here?
Very family oriented. The low cost of living attracts a lot of retirees. Slower pace of life. 300 days of sunshine, the ballooning capital of the world. Every morning you're going to see hot air balloons in the sky. This is what's called a PID, or a public improvement district. So all this has been sponsored by the taxpayer in Rio Rancho. The infrastructure, the parks, and all the amenities. What about crime? Very low. In my opinion, the farther south you go, that begins to change.
Okay, there are two types of air conditioner. There's evaporative air and refrigerative air. So the difference is that evaporative air blows air against cold water. And what does refrigerative air do?
Refrigerates coils, freezes the coils, and then blows the air against that. Much cooler and more efficient.
Right, that was interesting. This feels very different. Because they can't have lawns, they have public parks, which apparently cost a lot of money to water. So at the edge of the city is this.
Ants are bigger here.
So we've parked under a big solar panel. We've been given some goggles that you can look at the sun with, and there are telescopes. This one looks at hydrogen. The other one over there looks at the
Full spectrum.
the full spectrum. Right. You can see prominences and sunspots and active regions. The sun is doing a lot. There's the sun.
Into where we are because we're somewhat protected on either side.
We're looking for somewhere to live. Would you recommend this part of the galaxy as a good neighbourhood?
Very good, very good.
Right. Oh, that's I think we've got the right part. If we're sort of seriously looking for life in the universe,
You look out in the neighborhood.
the middle sounds like. Do they even have
Good
enough
place.
time to evolve anything?
Yeah, it bangs into stuff. It's too bright. It's too energetic. So yeah, that's not a good place to be. So
No.
if you're trying to look for planets, you'll take a look at not a very, very active star. You look a couple of astronomical units away from that star. Unfortunately, our technology picks up these great big planets.
So we're just seeing the gas giants.
Yeah, that's the electron of some atom. Now you're into sodium and magnesium.
This instrument can tell
So
you the
all
chemical
those
composition
different
of the sun
lines
just by looking at its light.
We're kind of feeding off the
That man was fascinating. He was from the Albuquerque Astronomical Society, and he was saying about how not only can we detect all these elements by looking at light, he gave a brief but interesting explanation of why the moon's so big, and apparently some object hit the Earth and the moon. The moon had deposited on it some extra mass that leaked through over 3 billion years ago, and that caused it to slow down and be tidally locked, which explains why it looks like there's a man in the moon, why there's so few craters on the side that faces the Earth, why it doesn't appear to spin. He also said that the tidal effect may have encouraged cell division by moving the water within the first cells.
Got some kids playing soccer.
The houses are the same colour. That is the first lawn we've seen in this town. This is all on a slight hill.
Cycle path. They have a lot more signs that are in Spanish.
So lots of the road signs, as we saw there, Via Vista, are in Spanish. Now, Spanish in the United States, I was under the impression it was something associated with immigration from Mexico. But apparently, a proportion of the Spanish-speaking population in New Mexico are the descendants of the Spanish who populated the area and aren't immigrants, and also speak a different dialect of Spanish. It's a variant of Castilian.
Something that Albuquerque's done that I like is they've put effort into making things look more attractive. Like that is just a highway bridge. That's really ugly in most places, but that looks nice, as is that art. There's been lots of that here.
Another neighbourhood near the river. That is the flag of New Mexico.
It's a street sign. Calle is Spanish for street, and we've seen a few of those here. This is a dual language school in English and Spanish. That is an 18-mile-an-hour speed limit in a school zone.
Normally they're multiples of 5.
We're going into the center of town. Albuquerque doesn't look as high-rise as some of the cities that we've been in.
There's a bicycle lane. There must be some reason.
They have a park, and there are people that look like they're hanging out and barbecuing and things. They have a roundabout.
Yay.
A bus. Attractive road sign. This is the center of Albuquerque.
I don't know what that is. It looks very good. I like that. This is sand. This is a rest stop where Spanish explorers came. They didn't found the rest stop, but they found this land. They've got these sort of cabins above the ground. There's a picnic spaces. It just goes out onto scrubland. But because it's America, we've still got a decent 4G signal. I'm going to see if this is tumbleweed. No.
Ah!
Sorry.
Oh, no, it does!
Give Mother Nature a little help.
And then it got stuck. This is a vineyard in the middle of New Mexico. We were told that there's something called a mesa, which is Spanish for table, which is these flat hills.
Sun